At the end of a long, muddy lane sits this lonely, Grade II listed lodge. The quaint single-story building consists of its original structure, which was probably built in around 1804, and a more recent extension which was added in the 1970s and 1980s. The original part of the building is octagonal with ornate brickwork, arched openings and a slate roof. A well near the front entrance adds to the charm of the house, or at least would have done before the building was abandoned. The extension is relatively well matched to the attractiveness of the original building, replicating its arched windows and slate roof, though not its octagonal layout. The small building was initially a gatehouse for a nearby manor, which has seemingly been split into a number of apartments in recent years. Following a similar story, the lodge itself has been laid out as 2 separate dwellings with 2 kitchens, 2 bathrooms and 2 living rooms inside. Though the inside of the house was in a reasonable condition, its internal layout was somewhat confusing, as the 2 parts were still interconnected. From what we could imply, perhaps one part was essentially used as a not entirely separate annex from the main accommodation. The kitchen was quite modern and was in a good structural condition. Though this room was exposed to the elements, and evidently some vandals, it was easy to imagine that it would have been in a fine, livable condition just a few years ago. The built-in oven was still in situ, and cleaning products were still sat in one of the cupboards. The overall condition was pretty good. I've seen worse on homes under the hammer. Passing through the hallway we found some post, which indicates that the property may have been vacated around 2022, and that the owner could have been in debt. This hallway led through to the modern extension, which contained a further kitchen in a similar condition to the first. A clean, modern, if slightly untidy and graffitied bathroom was on the opposite side of the hall. This was far from the usual state we find things in abandoned buildings. After nipping into a few bare bedrooms which mostly contained only fitted furnishings, we found ourselves in a second living area. The condition of this house, which is found in a well-to-do area, was definitely not what we were expecting when we found our way in. Whilst many abandoned houses have been left untouched for many years, or have fallen into disrepair as their elderly owners have unfortunately struggled to keep up with maintenance and housework, this house looks like it was kept clean, tidy and well looked after until the day it was abandoned. It's evident from the clues we found inside the lodge and its state, that it hasn't been abandoned for long. It wouldn't take an awful lot to put it back together and make it livable, but for now it's a listed building that's at great risk of deteriorating if left for too much longer.